The familiar blocky sun of Minecraft crested the horizon, painting the landscape in hues of orange and pink. Steve yawned, stretched his pixelated arms, and stepped out of his humble wooden shack. Today was a day for exploration, for adventure, just like any other in this endless, blocky world. He checked his inventory: a trusty iron pickaxe, a shimmering iron sword, a stack of torches, and a handful of pork chops, remnants of last night's hunt. Little did Steve know, this seemingly ordinary day would be anything but. Unbeknownst to him, the game he loved had been subtly altered. Mods had been installed, weaving new mechanics into the very fabric of the Minecraft universe. One, the Absolute Zero mod, was a ticking time bomb. Another introduced a relentless, creeping cold, a weather event that would slowly choke the warmth out of the world. The final mod added tools to combat this impending freeze: hot food, insulated clothing, and specially designed blocks that could trap and radiate heat. For the first few in-game days, life continued as usual. Steve mined, built, and explored. He stumbled upon a sprawling cave system, rich with iron and coal. He climbed towering mountains, the wind whistling through the pixelated pines. He even had a brief, terrifying encounter with a creeper, barely escaping with his life and a slightly singed tunic. But as the days turned into weeks, a subtle shift began to occur. Steve noticed the water near his base was starting to freeze at night, forming a thin layer of ice. He dismissed it at first, attributing it to a random weather pattern. Then, the crops in his garden began to wither, their leaves turning brown and brittle. He replanted, but the same thing happened again. A growing unease settled in Steve's stomach. He consulted the Minecraft forums, searching for answers. He found a few scattered posts, whispers of a glitch or a new challenge. No one seemed to know what was truly happening. Then, he noticed it. A faint, almost imperceptible shimmer in the air. He instinctively reached out, and a jolt of cold shot through his hand. It wasn't a glitch. It was cold. Genuine, bone-chilling cold. That was when the first notification popped up on his screen: environmental temperature decreasing. Panic began to set in. Steve knew he had to act fast. He remembered seeing new items in the crafting menu: thick fur cloaks, lined boots, and strange, glowing stones. Desperate, he spent the next few days frantically gathering resources. He hunted animals for their hides, mined deep into the earth for rare minerals, and scavenged forests for wood. The cold was relentless. Each day, the temperature dropped further. Steve found himself huddled by his fireplace every night, the flickering flames barely keeping him warm. He crafted the fur cloak and boots. They helped, but only marginally. The notification on his screen became a constant, nagging reminder: environmental temperature decreasing. He knew he couldn't survive like this. He needed a long-term solution, a way to create a pocket of warmth in this increasingly frozen world. He remembered the glowing stones, the heat stones, designed to radiate heat. He crafted a few, placing them strategically around his shack. They emitted a soft, comforting glow, and the temperature inside his base rose a few precious degrees. It was a start, but not enough. Steve realized he needed a more robust structure, a building designed to trap and retain heat. He embarked on a new project, tearing down his humble wooden shack and replacing it with a sturdier, more insulated structure made of stone and brick. He lined the walls with wool, a natural insulator, and installed multiple fireplaces, strategically placed to maximize their heating potential. He even crafted special heat bricks, blocks infused with the essence of the heat stones, further enhancing the building's ability to retain warmth. Building the base was a grueling task. The cold gnawed at his fingers, making it difficult to grip his tools. His food supplies dwindled, forcing him to risk venturing out into the frozen wilderness to hunt. The landscapes that were once lush green fields was now covered by snow, which made animals even harder to notice. He also discovered a new crafting recipe: hot food. Soups, stews, and roasted meats cooked with special herbs and spices that not only nourished him, but also provided a temporary boost of warmth. He started a small farm inside his base, carefully cultivating frost-resistant crops under the warm glow of torches. Slowly, painstakingly, his new base began to take shape. It was a stark contrast to the frozen wasteland outside, a beacon of warmth and hope in a world consumed by cold. The Absolute Zero mod lived up to its name. The temperature continued to plummet. Water froze solid. Trees turned into brittle, icy sculptures. Even the lava in the depths of the earth began to solidify, its fiery glow dimming to a dull orange. Venturing outside became an increasingly dangerous endeavor. Steve had to layer his clothing, consume hot food, and carry torches to ward off the frostbite. He explored the icy wastes, searching for rare resources and new ways to combat the cold. He discovered ancient ruins, buried beneath layers of ice and snow. Inside, he found blueprints for advanced heating technologies, powered by rare minerals and ancient knowledge. He also found journals, detailing the struggles of previous inhabitants who had faced the same chilling fate. Their stories served as a grim reminder of the stakes involved and fueled his determination to survive. One entry in particular caught his eye. It spoke of a legendary Heart of Fire, a mythical artifact said to possess the power to melt even the thickest ice and restore warmth to the land. The journal provided cryptic clues to its location, hinting at a hidden temple deep within the frozen mountains. Driven by hope, Steve embarked on a perilous journey to find the Heart of Fire. He traversed treacherous glaciers, battled frozen zombies and skeletons, and navigated through blizzards that blotted out the sun. He pushed himself to the limit, fueled by hot food and the burning desire to save his world. After weeks of searching, he finally found it, the hidden temple, a colossal structure carved into the side of a mountain, its entrance guarded by ancient, ice-encrusted golems. He fought his way through the golems, their icy bodies shattering into shards of frost. Inside the temple, he faced a series of trials and puzzles, each designed to test his skill and resilience. He solved riddles, navigated treacherous traps, and battled powerful ice elementals. Finally, he reached the heart of the temple, where the Heart of Fire pulsed with a warm, golden light. As he approached the artifact, a wave of heat washed over him, melting the ice that clung to his clothes. He reached out and touched the Heart of Fire. A surge of energy coursed through his body, and a wave of warmth radiated outwards, melting the ice and snow that had engulfed the temple. He carried the Heart of Fire back to his base, placing it in the center of his courtyard. The warmth emanating from the artifact spread throughout the surrounding area, melting the ice and snow and restoring the land to its former glory. Slowly, gradually, the temperature began to rise. The environmental temperature decreasing notification finally disappeared from his screen. Steve had survived. He had not only persevered against the relentless cold, but had also found a way to restore warmth to his world. He had built a sanctuary of warmth and food, using his ingenuity and resourcefulness to overcome the challenges of the Absolute Zero mod, but the journey was far from over. Steve knew that the cold could return, that the balance of the world was fragile. He dedicated himself to maintaining the Heart of Fire and developing new technologies to combat the cold. He shared his knowledge with others, helping them build their own safe havens and prepare for future challenges. Steve, once a simple miner and builder, had become a beacon of hope in a frozen world. He was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of ingenuity in the face of adversity. His story became a legend, whispered among the survivors, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, warmth and hope can always be found. And as the blocky sun set, casting long shadows across the once frozen land, Steve stood tall, a guardian of warmth, forever vigilant against the encroaching cold. The game had changed, but so had he. He was no longer just Steve, the Minecraft player. He was Steve, the survivor, the protector, the hero of a world on the brink of absolute zero.